Hey, what's going on, folks? So, Franklin Armory binary triggers for the MP5 platform. Anybody that has one of these knows that the selectors with the Franklin binary, for the MP5 at least, leave a lot to be desired, and they're not very aesthetically appealing. So there is a market out there for selectors to use with the Franklin binary that match closer to the original MP5 selectors. So there's a couple of companies out there. Smith Machine, I think, is one. There's another one, an individual. His name is Spencer Snow. He was frequently on Reddit quite a bit, and he made these selectors here that I've been using for about a year, a little more than a year and a half maybe. At the time, these were the only ones that I could find that were anywhere close to the original HK style selectors for the binary trigger. As you can see, it's Snow ink right there. So I found him on Reddit, contacted him, bought a couple of these from him, and they've been great. No issues at all. I did break one. As you can see, I do put Loctite on the screws. You have to Loctite these on, or they will absolutely back off. Unfortunately, with one of my other MP5 variants, I went to try and remove the selector one time, and I pried on it too hard, and it did break. These are 3D printed from plastic, so there is some vulnerability there. The reason why it wouldn't come off so easily is because there is some play on these selectors here. There's quite a bit, as a matter of fact. So if I may, I will demonstrate here. So, well, this one is fairly tightened, because the reason for that is because I put Loctite in the recess here, and that tightened it up pretty well. I know that's not the best thing to shim something, but I had it in front of me one day, and I wanted to address that issue, and so I used it, and it worked well. The only issue is it worked a little bit too well when I went to take it off, and I went to pry it off with a screwdriver, and I snapped it. So I went to contact this gentleman again to get another one, and for whatever reason, he's went completely dark. He did not respond to any emails, any phone calls, any text messages, anything. I even contacted him back on Reddit, and no response. So for whatever reason, he's not doing these anymore, and is not interested in this type of product anymore, which is a shame, because these were only about $30 a piece. And like I said, at the time, they were the only thing you could get. I was very impressed by, the fill-in of the marking. That's actually some type of sticker, and you can tell here it melted a little bit when I was trying to heat it to get it off to break the Loctite. Anyway, so fast forward to these new selectors that HK Parts is marketing. These showed up in my email last week. They're about $70 a piece, and so I ordered a set just to try them out. For any other reason, if I ever run into any more issues with these and can't get any more, I need to have something that closely matches. And as you can see, this very much so closely matches. Now, these are made out of aluminum. Initially, the one of the issues that I would have with aluminum is that they don't wear very well. These you can lay up against something and scuff, and you really won't be able to tell because they're plastic. Here, if you rub up against something on this, you're going to rub the anodization off, and you're going to have aluminum, and it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. To some of you, that might be important. My guns are pretty much range guns. They're not duty guns. They're not used for anything I'm going to use them for. self-defense or anything else. So, you know, that's a concern for me. But I ordered them, try them out, and so far they seem to work very well. As you can see, there's actually a bracket built into the selector that will perfectly fill in the hole, the selector hole in the pictogram lures here. So that's good. That's these, obviously, the plastic ones and the ones from Smith Tool. I've tried those out as well. I didn't like them. They don't have anything like that. And so your one thing that's common with the Franklin binaries for the MP5 is that you can have some play in your selector because of that. Well, this little part here, I'll show it to you on this one, addresses that clearly, and I have installed them into the lower, and they run very well. The only thing I can say is they don't. There's a little more tension when you're manipulating the selector with these, because they didn't have the bracket or the shim, if you will, to fill in the hole. They moved freely, and you could easily feel your clicks and stuff like that. With these, because this is now rubbing against the opening of the hole, it does affect how the selector feels when you're clicking into positions. So that's something that will probably wear in over time, probably very, very quickly, to where that's not as much of an issue. I mean, this is a new product, so some wear is expected to be able to work as it should. But I just wanted to do a video on these. These are sold by HK Parts. They list the manufacturer as HK Parts. So I don't think HK Parts actually makes anything. I think they just get people to make stuff for them, and they market it as HK Parts. So that is what is listed as the manufacturer. You can see there is some knurling, if you will, or grip surface on the part that engages your thumb or your index finger, or whatever you use to select your fire mode. So yeah, these seem to work pretty good. They're obviously going to be more durable than anything made out of plastic. Clearly, I don't think I'm gonna snap one of these in half trying to pry it off with a screwdriver or a flat base screwdriver or whatever. I will say these are very, very tight, extremely tight going on, which means there's no play. There's no, when I say there was play in the plastic selectors, there was a little bit of movement, about that much, before I put Loctite on them, that would move, even if you had the screw tightened down as hard as you could. There was just a lot of play in the recess. With these, that's not the case. These fit extremely well. You may even have to remove some finish off the end of the selector axle to get them to slide on. Initially, you take these off 4 or 5 times, and it's going to wear in without any problem, I suspect. But anyway, feel free to comment and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll answer as best I can. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Be safe.